God has an interesting pattern in the way that he works things. Sometimes he will tell you, okay, it's over. Okay, this is the end of a season. I'm telling you, I have been in spirit and heard it's over. That was it. Finally, it's done. And I'm like, yeah, God, it's over. Hallelujah. And he didn't move again for one. He said that in May and then didn't move till the end of July. I'm like, but God, you said it was over at the beginning of May. Why did you tell me that if you were going to move to the end of July? Because God sometimes tests our motives. What is your heart posture and why are you here? Are you here for the blessing or are you here for him? I can't tell you how many times I've been expecting something to occur and it's going to happen in XYZ amount of months. All right. You sitting up there, you prepping, blah, 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 blah. You ready. That set of months comes and it seems like, wait, why did it just seem like it got harder right when I hit the point in time of the manifestation of the thing and it still ain't here yet? Perfect example. God told me through a dream, 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm like, 1, 2, 3, 4. What the world is 1, 2, 3, 4 mean? Then, within days of him telling me that, after I came out of consecration, I was in a chat with a prophetic voice that I listened to, and this person confirmed when I typed the 1, 2, 3, 4. It's like, oh, God's saying XYZ, and I'm like, oh, confirmation, amen. So my brain says, okay, when I first got the 1, 2, 3, 4, let me calculate 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, this should be expecting, and 1, 2, 3, 4 should be this time, which lines up to X, Y, and Z happening. Okay, that's right. We good. Come up on that time frame, and it's like, wait. Literally and spiritually, I'm hearing, wait. I'm like, wait, what? But you said 1, 2, 3, 4. It's been 1, 2, 3, 4. Why is it 1, 2, 3, 4? You still saying wait? And then I turned around and I had gotten a confirmation right after that. Oh, it's gonna be XYZ. I'm like, but you said 1, 2, 3, 4 and nothing happened. So should I really wait for XYZ? Should I be prepared for XYZ to XYZ? And you said between XYZ and XYZ, something was going to happen. So it could be any time between now and XYZ. And for some of us, it's been like, okay, God, you said XYZ. I waited the extent of XYZ. XYZ didn't come. You extended XYZ to XYZ. How am I to know that when this next time frame come, that's the time frame? Since the last time frame came and that didn't happen. Heart posture and a testing before the blessing. Before I told you guys that what was it? First, you pray. Well, technically, first, you do a Habakkuk 2:2. Write the vision and make it plain on tablets for runners to go and get who read it. You write the vision first. Write it. You take it into prayer. Pray for it. You take it into a fast. Consecrate fast for it. Then you need to expect that you're going to go through trials and tribulations in relation to it, only to be followed by a level of cleansing that has to take place so that thing can come to you. And sometimes your time frame ain't always spot on. Why is that? Because 1, God's testing your heart posture. 2, he wants to make sure that the enemy don't know what you're doing. Because if you know and the enemy knows, and he sees that you're expecting God to do something at a specific point in time, of course the warfare is going to be worse during that time frame. And you're going to be sitting there looking like, but God, I'm going through warfare and still ain't nothing happening. And a lot of people lose themselves in the fact of the matter that they forget that God's in control. So God allotted for the demonic delay anyway. He knew that demonic delay was going to happen, and you sitting there fussing God out because it's like, wait, but God, and God's like, I knew that was going to happen. So still, I got it under control. A lot of us have a problem with the whole sitting still part. And yes, it comes from, we sat there, we prepped, we got things in order, we did everything. So now we're like, God, what's our next instruction? And God's like, your instruction right now is to sit still and rest. And I've been hearing that a lot. For like the past 2 weeks, I've been hearing rest. Pray over your rest. And a lot of us, we haven't done it. That's another reason. Because some of y'all are in rebellion because of the fact that God told y'all to rest and you haven't done it yet. And then you still wonder why God hasn't given it to you. It's like, you don't have enough energy in your body right now in order for me to drop that thing in your life. Because if I did, you would fall flat on your face. Sorry, not sorry. I know you wanted it. I know you prayed for it. I heard you when you said it. I know. I know the warfare has been this way, and I know all of that, and I know it came right exactly when you thought that the blessing should have been there. But you know what? I know what I'm doing. We are God's warriors. God built us to be able to withstand this kind of stuff. Sometimes we feel like, I heard an apostle say this years ago, sometimes you feel like you're bipolar because of the fact that you're in a hurry up and wait scenario. And you're like, wait, am I going? Am I staying? What am I doing? You just want some honest answers because you want to know which way you got to go. So you know which way you got to be. Because some of these things that God's calling us to move and maneuver into, they aren't things that if somebody told you to do it tomorrow, you would be all that ready for. But a lot of people will tell you this. God told you 15 times to get ready, and each time you got prepared to get ready, you got a little bit closer to getting things right in the order, in ordinance and preparedness the way that God wanted you to. And maybe the reason that you're still in delay is because of the fact that you didn't quite listen the last time he said, didn't I tell you to get ready the last time, but you didn't move? With that being said, I'm not saying that the Lord is punishing you. Because see, a lot of people get caught in the back and forth and up and down and the warfare and all of this, and the fact that, you'll reap a harvest if you faint not. And a lot of y'all sitting there like, did I faint? Is that why it didn't come yet? What in the world did I do? Did I not do? And that's the stuff that the enemy wants you to do. He wants you to spin your wheels thinking that you was dealing with X, Y, and Z. And God's like, nah, that's not what I was trying to tell you to do. I was just trying to get you to rest there this season. That you so I got it under control. Especially those of us that are called to leadership and we're slightly control freaks. We kind of have that tendency where we're like, I gotta get this thing done. This must be done in this ordinance. And God's saying, who's in control here? Am I in control or are you in control? Because I guarantee you, if I drop the weight of what I need to drop on you, it will crush you right now. I know what I'm doing. Breathe easy. I got this. But don't allow yourself to get in a mindset where you let yourself start to wander and think that you done did something wrong. You didn't do nothing wrong. And then you sit there and you go back over and back over and back over. And this is what the enemy does. The enemy gets you in a mindset where you're going over the stuff that God already told you. We good with that. It wasn't anything you did. I'm just trying to give you a little bit extra more time. And then it's like every time you think that it's time for you to go, it seems like God's pulling you back even further. And you're like, but God, I thought it was this time. God's saying, I know what you thought, but God has the right to change his mind. Remember, when Naaman, I think it was Naaman. It was either Naaman or Hezekiah. I think it was Hezekiah. Hezekiah, he was dying. And the guy came up to him and said, I need you to get all your affairs in order. God's final thought was, I'm taking him up out of here. I'm done with him. And that's what the guy came to tell him. But it wasn't until the guy turned around and prayed up against the wall for the forgiveness and the mercy of the Lord did God give him 15 more years. And that's what some of your cases are. Sometimes some of the blessings that you have are strategic and they deal with other people being involved. It's not just you. Because if it was just you, hey, God probably could have been gave you what it was that you were looking for. But you got some of y'all waiting on husbands. Some of y'all waiting on businesses that you cannot carry by yourself. So there are people that God has to align in order to be able to walk with you in order to be able to carry that stuff. And he got to make sure they're in place. Some of y'all are called to industries and you can't just be connected to anybody in those industries. So you have to have the people that are going to help hold your arms up like Aaron and Ur to Moses. You got to have the right people and all these people got to be in place, and some of them might be walking in rebellion and you on hold because you ain't on them. And some of it is not that the Lord didn't release them to do it. What do you call it? The minister, the apostle that I listened to, he said something very interesting one time. He said, pray for the people that are supposed to be in alignment for your blessings, because sometimes if the enemy can't get you off course, he'll try to take the people that are supposed to be the ones that are going to bless you off course, especially if they're not as spiritually weighted as you. We sitting here, we watch the videos all the time. We sitting here and we're hearing from God. We sitting here, we fasting all the time. We sitting here and we getting in good with God. We sitting here, we praying for the alignment and discernment of the Lord for these things to happen. But maybe they aren't. And because they aren't, the enemy's going after them in ways that are very easy to knock them off course. I remember a young woman, she was talking about, it was a season where the Lord had already told her God-ordained spouse was supposed to come to her. And you know what? The enemy knew he couldn't come to her and her sister because of the way that they prayed and the way that they were spiritually. And the way that they were operating and the people that were supposed to be in their lives. So what would happen is the enemy would say, okay, and I've seen this happen over and over and over again. Young woman, it was the season in which the person was supposed to come. God had already confirmed that was the season the person was supposed to come. Her and her sibling were supposed to get divine deliverers at that one time frame. And you know what happened? The people that were meant to come to deliver were distracted. How many of y'all, during the season in which the Lord already confirmed to you there was supposed to be a manifestation, felt intense warfare, witchcraft, or heavy interference in the spirit right at the point in time when God already told you that the blessing was supposed to come to you. But it wasn't towards you because it was towards them. Because you think that the enemy's going to come fight somebody that's looking for him to come? He going to go to the one that's supposed to be the deliverer, that all their job was, maybe they were just supposed to meet you and hand off something to you. Maybe they were the one that was supposed to, God had anointed them that the person was supposed to favor you X, Y, and Z. Maybe some of them weren't even Christian at all. And God said, I can use a donkey to bless you. All I need is for the person to come. And the enemy's like, let me just mess with this person because they ain't following God like that. So I can do like this old cartoon. I don't know whether it was Iceberg or Pet something. And the cartoon, every time something would happen, if something went past this character, it was like squirrel. It's like it ain't take nothing but to distract the person. We know distractions come, but somebody that's not understanding spiritual warfare may not understand, oh, that was sent to distract, until they've gone through the cycles of spiritual training. When they keep seeing this happen every time they plan to do that, then the Lord kind of said, you see that? That keeps happening every time you plan to do this. What you going to do with that? It takes them time. We ain't new to this. We treated this, so we know how to identify it very simply and easily. But others aren't. And we have to pray for those people that they get the boldness, that they get the confidence, that they have the laser focus, that they know that. I constantly pray that if this is a season for me and my God ordained spouse to me, that anybody that's coming into contact with him is going to be a blessing to him, meaning these are God ordained people that are meant to witness to him in this season of his life, in order to make sure the rate or pace of what it is that he needs to do is accelerated to the level at which God needs him to move in this season. Because I love my baby dearly, but sometimes it can take him some time to get things done. But yes. And you got to be aware of that. So it's not that you're under punishment. It's just that all the other people and things are not in order just yet. And it's annoying. And some days, just be honest, it sucks. Because we over here frustrated because we like, why can't everybody else have the same level of discernment and momentum as we do? And God's like, sit down. Don't move. I got it. For I know how tired you are. I've seen your deeds now. Look what I can do. Let him do it. In some of the situations, God has given the other person instructions and they're trying to execute the instruction. Can you imagine if your God ordained spouse or whoever it was that was the deliverer could hear every time you frustratedly were freaking out every time they didn't show up? They would be like, oh my God, this person is so annoying. Imagine. Because you'd be doing that to God. And in some ways, because this person is divinely ordained to help you, they get boxed every time you start praying into that thing. And they're like, why am I getting hit? Why am I getting hit? Because we are spiritually going to the spirit. And God's just like, they know. I know. Peace be still with you. You don't have to keep. They got it. I got them. They got. It's all going to come together. It is. I know. You feel like it doesn't feel like it right now. I know you saw another year go by. And you didn't see any resolution to what it was that you were seeking resolution. And you prayed and you fasted and you cried and you laid out on the floor and you was delivered and you spit and everything else. And nothing seemingly has changed in your life, and you're like, I went through way too much this year for this year to end up looking the same as last year. Make it make sense, Jesus. Because this don't make sense. Encouragement, prophetic encouragement always says that. Make it make sense. I'm doing everything. How can you please make it make sense? I keep saying that scene from Obsessed with Idris Elba, where he's saying, what do you need for me to do? Because that's what we feel like. What do you need for me to do right now? Because this cannot continue. I know y'all. I was just sitting here trying to let y'all know I'm here with you. I'm here with you. Keep them in prayer. Don't stop praying. You're closer than you think. Don't get worried. Don't get stressed out. God's in the midst of it all. The blessings are coming. The blessings are coming. Trust in God. He's about to do what he said he was going to do. Be at peace. Because God is still God and he's still in the midst. All right? Much love, faith, peace, and blessings to you. Be at peace. It'll be here sooner than you think.